Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Last Sunday I posted a video showing all the swaps I'd received when I went to the Onstage convention in Brussels 2 weekends ago. I've been asked if I could make a video showing how this swap was made, and with this you just pull the ribbons up and the chocolate well, this is good cookies actually, but how the cookies come out and how they slide back in again. And of course I'm delighted to make a video. This is the one that I've made. This is a bar of chocolate that I brought back with me from Belgium. So first of all, before I show you how to actually make it, I want to quickly go through how you can calculate for yourself what sizes you would need for any particular bar of chocolate that you have, or goodies, or it doesn't have to be chocolate. I mean, it could be a diary or whatever, something that isn't too heavy to be pulled out by ribbon like that. So let me show you, let's pop that there first, and I'll show you how I worked out what I needed. I've got this bit here, but I did have a separate piece of paper because I thought if I just showed you that, it looks just too confusing. Here we go. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to explain it and write it down as I go. So here's another bar of chocolate. Yes, I didn't buy just one. So what I did was I measured my chocolate, okay, and what I had was my chocolate measured. The height is 6 1/4 inches, the width is 2 1/8 inch, and the depth is 5/16. Obviously, because this is so tiny, I've had to be really quite precise about it, but it was quite easy. I have all these measurements on my ruler, so it does pay to be precise, otherwise you're going to finish up with a box that's going to be far too big and your chocolate's going to be floating about in there. Right, okay, so the next thing I did was first of all the depth, because I needed to work out what this needed to be, because whatever this is, the end is going to be the same as well. Okay, so 5/16, I just need to increase that a little bit, so I thought I'll put 1/16 on. So that makes 6/16, which equals 3/8 of an inch. Okay, so that's going to be my depth and the width of my seam. So for my height, I'm going to use my 6 1/4 and my 3/8. So that adds up to 6 5/8. So that's going to be the height of my cardstock. Now this piece round here, what I need is I need my 2 1/8 inches, and I need it again for the back. I need 3/8 here and 3/8 here, and then I need 3/8 for the seam. So here I have 11/8, which is 3/8 plus 1, 5. That's good, that's what I got earlier. So my paper has got to be 6 5/8 by 5 3/8. I hope you've understood that. Fortunately with the video you can replay it if you need to go through that more than once. So my cardstock that I have, actually I'm using DSP this time. If you watched the video you'll know that when I was going through the swaps I did say that the DSP felt quite thick on things like this. I think because it's so narrow, it's when it gets into being a square shaped box it gets a bit flimsy, because I don't normally like to use this. But this has worked out brilliant. I'm really pleased. Right, so my piece is, what did we say it was? 6 5/8 by 5 3/8. So the other cardstock you'll need is you need a piece of red glimmer paper, and you'll need some Whisper White for the the penguin and the sentiment. So not much needed at all. First of all, what we're going to do, let's move that chocolate out of the way, it's very tempting. We're bringing the scoring board if you're using a piece that's got a design, be very aware that it's got to be the correct way. Obviously with that you want the small score line at the bottom here. This is actually going to be on the inside, so it doesn't matter too much. But we know that the seam is going to be 3/8 of an inch, and rather than squeeze up this end to do it, I'm going to do it here. So on the 6 5/8 side, you need to score at 6 1/4. And then on the 5 3/8 side, you need to score at, and I'm going to have to check my book for this, you need to score at 1 5/8. Don't push too hard because this is DSP and the paper will crack. So then you need 2 inches, then 4 1/8 and 4 1/2. So that's the scoring board finished with. Now if you make a lot of boxes, you can probably think that's a bit of a funny way to do it, but I prefer to have my seam down here rather than at the edge. So what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to fold on our score lines. Don't use a bone folder for this. As I say, it is DSP and it will crack the paper if you put too much pressure on it. You notice that I had the inside of my box facing upwards when I did my scoring. Right, and then we fold this one up. Oh, I did that first of all, didn't I? Right, okay. Now we need to punch the holes, and I'm going to use my 1/8 of an inch handheld hole punch. And what I'm going to do is, I've obviously already worked this out. In fact, you can't see if I move over here, can you? Let's use a ruler then. I use the measurements on the side of my grid paper, but the way my camera is, you can't see that bit. So what I'm going to do, in fact, I might as well turn it around this way, it's easier. So I've got the right side facing me, and this one is the bit that's, what's that, about 3/4 of an inch? Yeah, that's the short one. So you're going to score, you're going to mark on here, it's around that way, isn't it? You need to do the marks. Okay, rewind. You need to do this on the larger piece here. Okay, the wider piece, not the narrow piece. So on this one, with it facing that way, that's better, then you need to score it at, or at least put a pencil mark on at, just a tad over 1/2 inch. And I really do mean just a tad. Just there. And then on, was it 3.5 inches? Oh, just over 3 inches then. Okay, so just a real slight tad over 3 inches. Oops. So where that marker is, you see my pencil mark, just about, and I'm going to put it in about 3/4 of an inch down and punch a hole. I'm going to do this one This isn't going to finish up absolutely perfect for the holes, but it will be certainly close enough. And then just remove your pencil marks. Okay, then I use red sticky strip on this. You can use fast fuse, and you can also use our tearing tape as well. That's very good for making things like this. I've just got a lot of the red sticky strip left over, so I am still using it. So I'm going to put that on the inside. This is on the one where I've punched my hole, okay. I don't worry about going right down to the bottom, as long as it's gone as far as the score line, because that bit will be tucked under and glued. And then the other piece that we need, let me think about this. I'm going to cut that. I'm going to put on there and cut it, yes, on the inside here. So that's 2 pieces on the inside. Okay, just to make sure that I've explained that properly to you, where it's going to be fitting together like that. Okay, so this is the one with the hole in it. That's the one that's got the tape on it. And then the one that's got the tape on here, that's the one that's going to be at the front of the box. Okay, so that's that one there. That'll be the front. Okay, so to cut this, you've got fold lines here and here that go up to the score line there, and you've got them here and here that goes up to this score line. So what you need to do is cut those, but do a little bit of a miter cut on both of them, so you're cutting out a small triangle like that. It makes the box go together nicely. In fact, it would have been better to do this before I put the sticky strip on it. But never mind, scissors will go straight through that. Crikey, that was quite a generous miter. See? Never mind, that'll be fine. So let's just get rid of those little scraps. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to take this sticky strip off. I'm going to fold it down, fold that one, and fold that one, and it just goes straight on the top there and all the way down. In fact, I've just done that wrong. I wonder if I can get away with that. Yes, I think so. Didn't stick that very well at all. Let me see if my chocolate will still go in there. Oh yes, that's right. Oh, that was lucky. Right, now for the bottom, if you have the back facing you, okay, so that's the one where we didn't put the sticky strip all the way down, pop the 2 side bits in, the little tabs, and then fold the back towards the front. Then we can take the backing off the red sticky, now what I do before I actually push this sticky bit down, I'll show you that way, I make sure that this is standing on the surface and it is standing straight, so these lines here are straight if you don't make sure that they're straight, you're going to get a very wonky box. And then just pull that over. Okay, and just make sure it's still, yep, that's fine. Okay, so that slides in and out nicely. Now for the ribbon, I'm using the Cherry Cobbler seam binding. Oh, by the way, this was Merry Moments Designer Series paper. That's in our main annual catalogue. So for the ribbon, I'm going to take probably about 20 inches, I suppose. And what you need to do is to straddle one end through this hole from the back. Okay, so it comes out through the front, and then do the same at the back. Put that in there. And pull that through. Now what you need to do is make sure that the ribbon is straight. So that is going through straight. Okay, it gets folded in the as it goes through the hole, but that's all right. At least it's still facing up the right way. Hold on, that one. Make sure that's still the right way round. No, that's got twisted, so I've got to turn that round. Okay, it's got to be straight like that, so that when your ribbon goes through, it pushes it just straight down. Okay, so if we get the chocolate now, put it up the right way, push that down, and then, in fact we're back to front, aren't we? And there we go. Okay, so the chocolate has slid down there very nicely, and just to prove that it works, hold your two pieces of ribbon, and there you go. Couldn't be much easier, could it? In fact, that was far too much ribbon. Look at that. That's so wasteful. Never mind. In fact, no, I know what I'll do. I can pull that through from one side. That's better. Then I can cut that off and use that for something else, rather than just wasting it. Right, now to decorate this, I've used the penguin from the Snow Place and the penguin's hat, or at least a Father Christmas hat, and the sentiment I've used is from, let me see, it's from A Little Something, this one here, and that's the one with Snow Place. Unfortunately, when I ordered this stamp set, I forgot to order the coordinating dies with it, so I'm having to fussy cut everything while I'm waiting for the dies to arrive. But if you do get that set, it's sensible to get the dies to go with it, especially when you can get 15% off if you order them both at the same time. Right, okay, so I have some Whisper White here. My penguin I'm going to stamp using our black archival ink, which I love. I think it's an absolutely great ink. So I need one penguin. I'm not going to be actually cutting this out because I have already done that, but I just want to show you what I do. I have another one of these to make, so I will be needing the penguin and his hat and everything else. This actually needs to be re-inked, I think. So that's the hat. Oh, and the sentiment I do in red as well. There we go. A little something for you. It's quite appropriate, isn't it? Right, let's turn this round the other way, because for my next one what I'll be doing is I'll fussy cut these two out, but that one will get punched. The only thing I do to my penguin is I use pumpkin pie marker pen. Sorry, got my head in there, didn't I? I do his nose, his beak rather, not his nose. Well, I suppose it's the same thing, isn't it? Is it? Okay, so that's his flipper. In fact, we were having a discussion about this at lesson last week. Are his arms flippers? I called them flippers, but some of my ladies said that it's his feet that are his flippers. But I think they're flippers. We didn't draw a conclusion on that. Okay, so that's all I do with him. Then we'll pretend that I've already just finished fussy cutting him out. Okay, but this one I will punch. I use the 1 3/8 circle punch for this. And I will use the 1 3/4 inch scallop circle on my red glimmer paper. And for these I'm going to put together using glue dots. Now what I do because I want 4 on the back here, I pay attention to the way this is sitting. So first of all I do 1 on this side, turn it over and do the other side. Next one, top, next one, bottom. Until I started doing that I used to get 3 almost on top of each other and finish with one side flapping around. So just pop that on there. Now I'm going to put the hat onto the penguin by using my 2A glue pen. Now I want some dazzling diamonds on him, so I'm just going to put some 2A glue onto that bit there. It is blue but it will dry clear, and then onto the bobble, onto his hat, and then I'm just going to put a little bit on where there's the shadow lines, and on this side as well. And then I'm going to get my dazzling diamonds. And I'm just going to give him a good dunking. There we go. So that's him good and covered. You can see the blue still through here, but that's okay, it will dry. Right, so this I'm going to, I still need to tie that up, don't I? I'm going to pop this on here using Tombow. And then the penguin is going on with dimensionals. And I'll just cut one little one off to put behind his hat. There we go, that's that. And then I did a little bunny ears bow, which I'm going to put on there, but I'm going to sort out the top here first. What I used is some cherry cobbler baker's twine. I just took a little piece and I tied this as close to the box as possible. Let's lay that on there, see if that'll try keeping it in place for me. Okay. And I tie a double knot with this, because if the bow comes undone while the ribbon's being pulled up and down, it's not going to come off totally. Okay, you can go now. There we go. Okay, move that out of the way, don't want to see that. Now let's just pop this on. Excuse me. Okay, so there we go. Wasn't that easy? I hope you've enjoyed that. Oh, I can see something else I haven't done. Let me just tidy up these ends. There we go. Anyway, as I say, I hope you've enjoyed watching that, and I hope you give it a try. Many thanks for watching my video today. If you have any questions, please ask. I'm always happy to help. If you've enjoyed the video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on the subscribe button. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I've featured here today, apart from the chocolate of course, sorry, if you'd like to click on the link at the bottom of the screen, that will take you to my 24/7 online Stampin' Up shop. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, cheerio.